Hello and welcome to Automedics. Automedics is an interactive TV show that analyzes your vehicular problems. So if you have challenges with your vehicle, we are here to provide solutions to your teething automobile problems. Let me also welcome viewers and also wish them happy Salah. Barka da Salah. Na fatan kun Salah lafiya. I'm sure you don't get a word about that. Anyway, my name is Ben, and I have LJ here with me as usual. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Okay, and today we also will be taking the usual three questions that our viewers have actually sent to our portals. And we will be starting right away with this one. His name is from, I'm sure I get this name correctly. He says Barangwi Sokari, yeah. He says, I recently overhauled my 2003 Corolla, and now it has a P1349 code, VVT system malfunction. My mechanic has reset the timing chain. I changed the VVT sensor, and he checked all other factors that might have triggered the code. Despite all this, my car does intermittent, maybe dragging. He says intermittent dragging. That is what he means here. And whenever I accelerate, the gear engages very well, and the speedometer is below, he said 100 RPM, but I think he's talking about 1,000 RPM here. While driving yesterday, the car dragged severally, but still moving. It then came up with this code, P0120, throttle pedal position A circuit, and a P1349 VVT system malfunction. What lasting solution can be found? Because my mechanic seems confused. I don't think he has any experience about this. They say he didn't have any problem before doing the overhaul. So what do you think? I'm looking at
being an 03 Corolla.
Yeah.
I really don't expect the mechanic to go through all of this.
And it's just an overhaul now.
It's just an overhaul. Yes. But you know, typically from experience, I've come to know that when you do overhauls like this, one item that always sets you back is the chain adjuster.
Chain adjuster?
Yes.
And chain itself?
The chain itself.
Yeah.
Now, if the chain adjuster, probably while they were trying to release it, they mess around with it, this can always make the timing to even jump a tooth before you even start the vehicle.
Like, sometimes talking about a resetting of timing, timing has become more complex issue than more than what it was.
Yes.
And that is why you're beginning to have tools like timing locking tools.
Yeah.
So I guess his mechanic didn't use anything of
I don't think the mechanic used the timing locking tool. One reason why he may not have used the timing locking tool is because it's an 03.
Okay.
So it's something they've always been dealing with.
It's a regular thing.
It's a regular thing. We come across this car every now and then and all of it. But from personal experience, what I've known that when mechanics, he probably didn't have any of all these issues before this job was done.
Yeah.
But during the process of releasing that adjuster, it's possible for the timing chain to jump the tooth. And once that happens, problems ensue. And then also how they release the adjuster is also another thing. Because, for instance, when they are turning the engine and all that, after doing timing, there is a way they will turn the engine, and the slack you have will move to the other side.
Which side the slack is actually at.
So when it moves, then also this very engine, which is I think for the 03 Corolla, I think this is the 1ZZ engine.
1ZZ.
1ZZ. Yeah. Another thing that is common with 1ZZ is the adjuster, the rails.
Yeah, the chain rail.
The chain rails.
Yeah. Maybe wear around the chain rail, which can actually increase the slack on it.
On the chain.
Yeah.
So that would cause this kind of problem. Then lastly, they should also look at the kind of oil and the electrical connection of the VVT.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be mixed.
The solenoid.
Yes, the solenoid connector could be mixed and all that. So they should look at the wiring as well.
Okay, so we're looking at the timing again. Probably the timing is a little bit offset. Which need to be reset again properly. Maybe if your mechanic can actually use the timing locking tool, I think that will help him a lot better.
Yes.
And also check the chain rail. the timing chain adjuster. If you haven't changed all this, also check for the way around that. Yes. Okay. So the second one?
The second one here says, Fakbonda Babajide. Good day, sir. I drive Toyota Corolla 2009. After diagnosed, I found these codes P0010, P0128, P0013, P0456, P0343. Thanks. Well, this is a handful of codes here.
Yeah, and he didn't mention what his experience is like.
No, he didn't lay the experience. But from the codes, you could actually tell the kind of experiences he's probably having. Yeah. He's also having a similar timing-related issue. And apart from the timing-related issue, he's also having a P0128, a missing thermostat. Yeah. I think your thermostat has been removed from the engine, so you will definitely get a P0128 after the car reaches warm up a couple of times. Yeah. The computer will pick that up. Then also P0456, which is a small leak, is also
the EVAP system.
Yes, is also experiencing a small leak with the EVAP system. So you will have to first of all check your engine oil level. Regarding the VVT code, if the engine oil level is low, you possibly have this code.
Yeah, you know
what
the
engine has sludge.
Yeah, you know what I actually think. The main reason why he sent this question, in my opinion, is because of the two codes, P0010 and P0013. Yes, that is what I think. Maybe he's experiencing something just like the first
caller.
Yeah, the
like
message
the
got.
drag.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it is that, check your engine if it has sludge, check the engine oil level if it is low. If it is low, you have to top it up. If the engine has sludge, that might just be the reason why your timing is beginning to mix up.
And I mean, we're having a lot of timing issues with Toyotas, I guess.
Yes.
And the reason I think is because basically mechanics have been using the conventional way of setting timing, just by marks. And then they put it back in together, they assume everything is going to be okay. But unfortunately, modern vehicles
don't work like that.
They work with precision. Yes. And that is why they'll be having issues with timing.
The biggest problem I have with working with marks, it's not a problem to put marks. But when they put marks and they see that the chain actually carries the paint code there, what stops you from
aligning it?
Aligning the chain marks. Because if you align the chain mark, definitely the engine will run well, to run right.
All right, let's see the third one. Now, this one is from Henry Aigbe. Say, good morning, my Lexus RX 300 ECU was damaged. Please, should I replace with free code or code ECU? Please advise, because I was told that free code will not display all the lights on the dashboard. We're having this back and forth and free code thing.
Yes.
I like this message because it's going to unnect some things here.
Yes, it's definitely going to make us digress a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll just go straight to the point. If you took A out, put A back, don't put B.
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't want extra issues that would come with B.
Yeah.
B is designed for another vehicle entirely.
Yeah.
Now you're putting it on your vehicle because you don't want to go through the process of doing the programming and all that.
Yeah.
You don't need that. Put the right ECU. Get somebody. He's an RX 300.
Yeah, which is a 1MZ.
And 1MZ engine, and this can be easily programmed. It's code.
Yeah.
This is something.
One thing they don't really figure out when you are talking about the free code, they pin out. Aside, will also change too. We'll be doing a lot of
some part of it will change.
Yeah.
So definitely you would have some side effects from doing this kind of thing.
Yeah. So Henry, please. Do change your ECU with the correct one. We'll be back to you after the short break. Please don't go away. Automedics will be back.
You can actually drive your vehicle without engine oil for 50 kilometers. This is very, very achievable, all thanks to Polytron. Still a doubting Thomas? Let our technician prove this to you.
We are about to drain the engine oil of this car to see the power of Polytron, the product that has nanotechnology buried in it. Because we believe that Polytron is already working in it. And after doing that, put the car together and we'll drive it around.
Now that you have seen the power of Polytron, buy a bottle today to increase the lifespan of your engine, reduce fuel consumption, save cost also on expensive repairs.
Welcome back to Automedics, and Today we're going to be doing something different. We'll be talking about our school, but we'll also give you the opportunity to also call into the program and tell us exactly what your problems are. And we'll try as much as we can to give solution to those problems. And the numbers to call are 0701 627 2025. 0701 627 20. See screen. But before we start getting.
So more talking about the Automedics Training Institute, where you can go acquire real life skill, because I think that's one thing that is missing in the society today.
Knowing how to use for time.
To use that, a lot of people need to know that the mechanic work is no longer what it used to be.
Is this Automedics?
Where it was more of a mystery, secrecy and all that, where they do it and it looks like magic. It requires so much force, so much effort, so much dirt has to be in there before the work is done and all that. Presently, it's not like that anymore. You can have a job done looking neat. You can have a job done.
Just hold it there. I think we have a call from Chidi from Festac. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Chidi from Satellite Town, yeah?
Yes, sir. I drive a Hyundai i20.
Okay.
I've been using the car for the past 1-2 years now. Actually, it's a 2014 model. Right. It's quite brand new.
Okay.
But due to using it for transport business in the last 1 or 2 years, I noticed my oil started. If I service my car today, in less than a week, the oil runs dry.
How low does it get to? Is it about a quarter?
It gets very low. It gets very low.
Okay.
Virtually empty. So I normally, in a week, if I buy fuel, as I'm buying fuel, I have to buy oil to top every week. My mechanic said I have to ring the engine. But I'm scared of that because ringing the engine, I'm telling him it's a new car, it's a 2014 car. I don't have the money to take it to the Hyundai company because they might want to change the engine or something. I don't know what I could do because right now, after the noticing of oil shortage, I also noticed that my temperature always rises. I took somebody to the airport and I noticed then my temperature rose to the highest, and now he's telling me my top gasket is bad. I have to ring the engine.
Okay, Chidi, can you just wrap it up quickly so that we'll be able to give you a complete answer on this? So the problems you're having is that the engine is weak and possibly is smoking, and that is why it's consuming too much oil. Your mechanic suggested that you have to do an overhaul, and also you're having problem with an overheat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can watch us and let us discuss about this.
Okay.
Yeah, LJ, we have 2 problems here now. Engine weak.
Yeah.
He didn't tell us it's smoking, but me and you know that this engine is smoking, and badly too.
But we can't really ascertain if the engine is really weak.
Okay.
It's just that it loses oil.
Okay.
Because that's where the whole complexity always starts from.
Yeah.
Now, it is one thing for an engine to go weak and be losing oil. It's another thing for the engine to still have power. The car can still move about very well, but it's losing oil. So what I think the mechanic needs to do, first of all, is find out, is this engine really bad, or components in this engine needs to be changed. Do a compression test. If you still have standard compression, that puts your mind to, okay, looking at the oil control rings, looking at seals, valve seals, cover seals, manifold and all that, PCV valves and all of it, could make this engine to be losing oil. Now, there is a funny thing I discover about these vehicles. Sometimes it's not smoking, but the oil is gathering
just
somewhere.
hold it right there. Let's take another call and then we'll just wrap them
Put
all
everything
together.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello, are you there? Hello? Okay.
So I said there is something I noticed about these engines.
Yeah.
Now, the oil is possibly gathering in the manifold.
Yeah.
Because the
I've seen that
PCV
happen
valve
before.
is
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Now, the day they take down that manifold, you'll be
see
shocked. You'll see how
a
much
lot of oil in it.
you've had in the manifold.
Yeah.
But the only reason why you will go for the manifold and not go for the engine outrightly is when you do a compression test.
Yeah.
And you see that the cylinders have good compression. So why am I going to do this? Let me check the manifold.
Now let's talk about the overheat. I think you just killed it there.
All right, as for the overheat, there are so many things on the vehicle that can result to an overheat. If you actually saw our last show...
Let's take this one from Alani from Bariga.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Alani. How are you doing?
I use my car. My car is...
Hello?
Let me turn down the TV again.
Yeah, please lower the volume on your TV set.
Now, I use an Xterra 2000.
Okay.
Every time I drive, I try to speed. By the time I get to package,
hello?
So I remove the filter, that's the gas filter, and let the petrol and replace it.
We can't really make out what you're trying to explain to us, Alani. The phone, keeps drifting back and forth and breaking, so we may not be able to understand. Yeah. Okay.
So we're talking about
overheating.
Overheat now. Yeah. Like you said, if he actually saw the show and the last show, he would realize that overheating is just a symptom.
Yeah.
So there are so many reasons why the engine is overheating. It may not even be the head gasket.
Yeah.
Proper checking will arrive at the proper solution befitting for the car problem. It could be a radiator cap, it could be a hose leaking the coolant, it could be a fan that has run slow and is not speeding up like it's supposed to be. It could be something really small as dirt gathering in the face of the radiator or some of the tubings you have in the radiator clogged up. Any of all these could actually result to the overheat. So don't just jump to the head gasket. A proper check has to be done.
And when you talk about that, that reminds me about the school again. Proper diagnosis. That is where any good job actually starts from. If you don't do a proper diagnosis on any vehicle, it will be very difficult to actually know exactly what is going on and what you need to do.
Yeah. And when it's time for diagnosis, you have to know what steps should you take first. Should you check the plugs first or outrightly take the coil out? Should you check the injector first or just lose the manifold out? If you go step after step in looking for the cause of a problem, you will actually arrive at the cause while checking and then have a solution to it.
Okay, all right. You just had that now. We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be having our topic of the day. Please stay tuned, don't go away.
Strong communication skills, good diagnostic skills, problem-solving skills, solid work ethics, strong technical aptitude, and up-to-date technology. Watch Automedics on your reach out station as we provide clear-cut solutions to your automobile problems. Automedics showing every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. with a repeat broadcast at 11:30 a.m. on Saturdays. Automedics, the best hands on your automobile.
Welcome back. It's still Automedics, and we're still discussing automotives here. And our topic of discuss today is something that will interest you because some of the questions we've taken will actually relate to it because it has to do with lubrication. And what are we talking about here?
We're talking about low oil pressure.
Low oil pressure.
Yes.
Causes and solutions, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, so what should we be looking at here when we're talking about low oil pressure? Because a lot of people will be thinking my engine oil level is okay, is gauged.
And yet I'm having the oil light on.
The oil light coming on.
Or I'm having the interface telling me that
low oil,
check oil level
pressure,
or check oil pressure and all that. Anyway, this discussion is not far from what we've been trying to educate the public about on this show. And we've been for some time now talking about the kind of oil you use for your vehicle. Vehicle manufacturers have oil specification. When you go out of the oil specification, you are compromising the engine. And one way or the other, it will result in one mechanical failure or the other. Oil pressure indicator coming on while you're driving is most times as a result of a failure.
Yeah.
Okay, except for a few times where it's an electrical issue with the oil sensor, the oil pressure sensor.
And most of that just about 20%.
That's just 20% of the time that you have a case where it's the oil pressure sensor that is faulty. In that case, you won't get any other symptom other than either the red oil indicator that looks like a bottle comes on and warns you, or you get a beep and then the interface tells you that, oh, you have the user interface you have on the screen. On the instrument cluster tells you have low oil pressure. To visit workshop. Most times that's how you get the message. Now, this is as a result of either one, you're using the wrong oil. Two, you're not servicing as at when due. You flog the oil to the point where the oil goes from being light to being very thick.
Becomes grease.
Then three could just be a mechanical failure with a part in the engine. Then four, you probably drove through water or drove against an object that hit the sump or hit a component on the engine.
Mechanical damage.
Mechanical damage. Any of all of this.
But let's look at it from the point of view of maybe not doing the regular service. What effect it really has on low oil pressure.
Well, before not doing the oil service as when due results to that, you will have gotten to a stage. That stage is the point where there is sludge buildup that has clogged so many parts of the engine.
Now, let me just ask this for the benefit of those who are viewing.
Okay.
What actually causes sludge inside engines?
Well,
because you can't...
From my own everyday experience, what I've noticed...
We just need to wrap it up.
Yes, what I've noticed that causes sludge. One, you're using the wrong oil. If you use the wrong oil, it may not be able to handle the temperature of the engine. It will burn out quickly. Now, if you get an oil, you put it into a pan and you put it on the fire, and you keep burning it. At some point, the oil is going to go like dried up. Now, when it dries up, it's going to stain the pan that you're using to fry. Same thing happens with the engine. If the oil is not built to withstand the heat and the pressure that you have there, over time, it's going to dry up and then form some thick compound like this that I can't call a lubricant. So over that time, that spreads around the engine and that causes the sludge we talk about.
Isn't that enough to cause low oil pressure?
It is, because when it clogs some passages that oil is supposed to pass through to get to the oil pressure sensor and it doesn't get there, well, your oil light will stay on, stay lit. Then lastly, apart from the oil quality, when you do your service, but for some reason you have this impression that because you're not always driving the car, there is no need to service it again. And then it goes like that for a year plus. Before you know it, you will have sludge building up in the engine.
In as much as this topic is very interesting, we just have to stop it here. And maybe next time we'll come back again, we'll be discussing something more about oil. But for now, we'll be leaving you with this, and do hope that you enjoy watching Automedics. Keep it there with us again next time on the same station. Have a blessed day.